Welcome back to MGP Today, your ultimate source for MotoGP insight, analysis, and behind-the-scenes action. Today we bring you an exclusive double feature from the opening round of the 2025 Thai Grand Prix. In our first segment, Ducati's Pecco Bagnaia shares his candid thoughts on the race, dissecting the riding styles of the Marquez brothers and his own performance struggles. Then, we turn to the ever-respected Dani Pedrosa, who offers a fresh perspective on Marc Márquez's current form and strategic brilliance. Stay tuned as we dive into every detail that could shape the championship battle ahead. And don't forget, if you like what you see, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for all the latest MotoGP updates. Starting with Ducati's own Pecco Bagnaia, the Italian rider delivered a brutally honest review of his performance in Thailand. Finishing third in both the sprint and feature races, Bagnaia's overall result wasn't enough to hide his frustration. Despite a positive start to the season, he wasn't satisfied, and he explained why. Bagnaia pointed to a recurring theme this weekend: a lack of pace. Going faster was the mantra he wished he'd achieved. He noted that whenever he was about half a second slower than his rivals, he had no choice but to concede ground. In his words, it became a race to watch, a cinematic display where he simply couldn't close the gap. "I tried. When Alex was in front, I was slower than Marc, and even when I managed to get back down, that half-second gap forced me to give up and let them pass. It's like watching a movie where you know the ending, but you're stuck on the sidelines." Bagnaia didn't stop there. He broke down the riding styles of the Marquez brothers in a way that left no doubt about his analytical approach. He revealed, "I analyzed how they were riding. I was beating Alex on the brakes while he was better when coming out. And Marc? He was braking like me and coming out of corners like his brother." For Bagnaia, this consistency in Marc's approach made all the difference on track, even if his own bike still felt like last year's package. The underlying issue for him was clear. He hasn't yet found that perfect balance, especially with the front tire dynamics, which left him struggling to extract the extra tenths he desperately needed. Expressing his dissatisfaction, Bagnaia was blunt. "I can't say I'm satisfied. My goal is not to finish third." He stressed that while extended tests were planned, they didn't deliver the crucial insights required to master the bike. Every sector, braking, acceleration, corner exit, matters. And on Saturday, he felt he lost too much time, particularly in the third sector. Looking ahead, Bagnaia remains focused on closing the gap against the Marquez duo. He acknowledged that circuits like Argentina and Austin typically favor Marc, and that his challenge now is to gain ground in the rounds where conditions might better suit his style. His message to Ducati and his fans was clear: the work is just beginning, and he won't settle for a podium if he can help it. "I know what it takes to be at the front. I'm not here to settle for third. I must work to adapt better to the bike and, from Qatar onwards, seize every opportunity to claw back the points." Now turning our focus to another pillar of MotoGP wisdom, Dani Pedrosa. The veteran rider, whose experience spans years at the top, has weighed in on Marc Márquez's performance, reminding us that even amid challenges, Marc's innate talent remains undiminished. Speaking on DAZN, Pedrosa provided a nuanced look at Marc's recent outing. Despite the mechanical and tire-related challenges that were evident during the race, Pedrosa emphasized that Marc's raw ability is still very much alive. He stated, "Marc Márquez's talent is still there. With the right weapons, he's shown he still has plenty of gas, even after dealing with injuries." According to Pedrosa, what set Marc apart was not just his speed, but his tactical approach to a race that could have easily unraveled. At one point, when it appeared that Marc was struggling with tire pressure issues, he strategically slipped into his brother Alex's slipstream, conserving pace and preventing any major loss. Pedrosa further elaborated on the challenges faced by the Marquez brothers. He highlighted that while Alex started the race strongly, tire wear eventually took its toll. Alex began with great pace, quickly recovering positions and challenging hard, but the wear on his rear tire was evident. forcing him to work overtime to maintain second place, Pedrosa explained. The veteran also touched on the technical side of the sport. He noted that even at record pace, there were limitations imposed by safety-first tire pressure settings. The mechanics' calculations have been oriented towards stability, and despite the blistering pace, the pressure wasn't optimal. That balance between speed and safety is always a tightrope in MotoGP, Pedrosa added. And as the championship unfolds, Pedrosa remains cautious about comparing Marc's current form to his phenomenal 2014 season. While acknowledging that Marc can reach those heights on circuits that suit him, he warned that other tracks might favor rivals like Bagnaia. "I can't say I see Marc at his 2014 level yet, but in the next races on tracks that play to his strengths, he could well reclaim that form," he concluded. Together, these two perspectives paint a vivid picture of the 2025 season's early dynamics. On one hand, Bagnaia's detailed self-analysis exposes the minute fractions of a second that separate victory from compromise, a gap he is determined to close by refining his bike's setup and pushing his limits. On the other, Pedrosa's measured assessment of Marc Márquez underscores the enduring brilliance of a rider who, even when facing technical challenges, remains a formidable force on track. In MotoGP, every lap, every braking point, and every corner exit can redefine the outcome of a race. As Ducati fine-tunes its machinery and teams across the grid dissect every data point, one thing is clear: the battle for the championship will be as much a contest of strategy and adaptation as it is of raw speed. Looking forward, Bagnaia's focus will be on improving his front tire understanding and overall acceleration in key sectors, while the Marquez camp will continue to optimize their race pace through intelligent tire management and strategic drafting. With circuits like Argentina and Austin in the near future, tracks known to favor different riding styles, the season promises to be an intriguing chess match. Today's double feature has given us a window into the inner workings of MotoGP's elite. Whether it's Pecco Bagnaia's relentless drive to outperform his limits, or Dani Pedrosa's unwavering belief in Marc Márquez's talent, the underlying message is clear. In MotoGP, success is defined by the constant interplay of risk, strategy, and adaptation. That wraps up our in-depth coverage from the Thai Grand Prix here on MGP Today. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with Bagnaia's analysis? And how do you see Marc's talent evolving as the season progresses? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more exclusive insights and breaking news from the world of MotoGP. Thanks for watching MGP Today, where every lap, every decision, and every moment defines the spirit of racing. Until next time, keep your engines roaring and your focus razor sharp.